What is going on? Welcome back. Jasper Forrest here, trying to help you guys out with business ideas, business tips, a little bit of ways to monetize different parts of your life and pursue your dreams. Alright, today we are going to be talking a little bit about myself. A little bit of a personal video, just talking about sort of parts of my life that I feel like were key defining points where I either learned something about myself, saying, oh, this is why I shouldn't work 9-to-5 jobs, or key points where I started to realize, hey, like, this seems to kind of work, and I like doing this, but I don't know if I can do this for the rest of my life. So, of course, it's really important. I'm just going to go through sort of three things that are, the big points in my life that I realized, this is either helping or hurting my progress to success. So first thing I would say is when I was young, I moved around a lot, and I went to about 7 different schools in elementary school. From first or kindergarten until 6th grade, I went to 7 different schools. And so moving around a lot, I met new people, and then also would have to sort of adjust every year to a new school. And that was a little bit of a hard thing to do at a young age. I think that's something that affected me in my later years. When I started working, I found that I wanted to move around a lot because staying in one place was not something that I was extremely comfortable or used to. So that's the first thing that I have to say is really key. Try and find certain things that either have helped you or hurt you in your future, or things that you could learn from. I moved around a lot because housing is not the cheapest. I grew up in Western Massachusetts. It's a little bit of a different area. It's pretty rural. There's not that much opportunity for growth for, entry-level businesses and jobs and things like that. And my mom, she was an artist, but she was also like a single parent kind of raising me, and had an art degree almost, and then ended up having to leave college for that. And so things like that can affect your childhood and then affect you in your future as an adult, which, of course, my mom, she also, I have to give her all of the praise that I can, because there are many things that she has given me, which even comes back to this, creating art, doing photography and things like that. I grew up skiing. I had a great childhood, so cannot forget the good things. Okay, so the next thing I would say is, as I was growing up, I always had this I'm always broke or I will always be broke kind of mindset. I thought that from a very young age, probably about 12 years old, because I could see the differences in my family compared to like my friends' families. And I wasn't trying to really compare myself, but I could see, when people were going on vacation and my family was staying, pretty local and stuff like that, it was a pretty obvious difference. So changing that mindset for me is a really important thing, because as I have grown older, I have continued to still work pretty much base level jobs, minimum wage jobs, 9-to-5s that seem to really go nowhere. And so trying to break out of that kind of pattern or cycle is a really important thing. And what I'm doing right now by trying to start my own business, create a YouTube channel, and kind of start a new path, I think that's a really important thing for people to be able to try and reflect on and say, hey, this might be why I can't really get anywhere, is because I'm in this mindset of always being broke and not trying to actually make something else work. So try and find something that works for you. Try and find something that you're passionate about, of course. And then the next thing is for being creative, I was always told that that would hurt me in my future years, that would slow me down or put me further from success, because being creative was not the way that people want, like employers want you to do things. You want to be able to get the task done and do the same task over and over. I always wanted to try and find either not a shortcut, but a more efficient way, something that could be done quicker, but as efficiently or even better than the average way. So I was always trying to find new things or new ways to do different things but get the same result or a better result. And I was always criticized for that when I was young. And I really think that that's a great thing now, because when I look at a problem that I do have right in front of me, I can look at it and say, well, I could go about it this way, but there might still be a better way, so I'm going to try and figure that out before I really set all of my energy into doing it this one way, because I think I could maybe do it this way, and that might change it up a little bit. So try and be creative. When people say that being creative is not going to help you, that's because they're intimidated by you, and honestly, they can see that you're going to probably succeed, but they're trying to limit you, and that is honestly just kind of the way the game works. A lot of people see something in you and they say, well, man, I wouldn't do it that way, and that's because they wouldn't, because they limit themselves, and if they limit themselves, then they will never really get to whatever point you're trying to get to if you're not trying to be limited. So now I want to also run down 3 really cool tips that I've sort of started in my steps, or in my path to creating a small business right now. It goes down to 3 simple things. So the first thing is you want to start a list. Starting a list of all of the things that you need for your business, whether that's supplies, materials, equipment. Like I've got my photography business, so I have to have a camera, I have to have a bag to carry that camera in, I have to have gear that makes my photos better, so I can't just have just one specific lens that I use. I have to have multiple different lenses, I have to know how to use them, I have to have, software to edit photos, I have to have all sorts of different things to be able to make that a business. I have my website, so you want to write down a list and check off all of the key things. Try and make sure that you're prioritizing the things that you need to start your business, and then you can start building on top of that the things that will make your business better and make people want to do business with you or request your business sooner or more frequently. The next thing is, going down that list, you want to then find some way to make your business different. So adding into that list is just one last thing, which is creating a niche. You want to create some form of a niche. So what I've seen is on YouTube, there's a lot of people who are talking about how to make money, but most of them already have money. And so I want to show you what it's like for a person to take those steps, following some of the gurus that you might say are on YouTube, but then also taking my own steps, taking my own creativity, and taking my own perspective into it, and doing what I can with my own sort of understanding of what it is to start your own business, go independent for your income, and then continue to grow that business or diversify outwards and expand your sort of revenues of income. The last thing that you really need to do in this 3-step program is really dedicate yourself to whatever your niche is, and also that checklist. So going down that checklist, making sure that you've got everything done, and when you get to your niche, you want to try and expand on that and see what kind of creative things you can do that make you stand out as a business or as a company, or what makes your product stand out to other people who are potential buyers or clients. Dedicating yourself to the checklist is one thing, dedicating yourself to your niche is another thing, but then dedicating your actual self to doing all of this is the last really big thing, which is taking that time for yourself to sit down and start working through these steps. You have an idea of, I want a business that does these kind of things, and so you start doing those things. Try and create, your first project. For me, I've done a lot of free projects, and I've given a lot of work away to friends of mine to try and build my portfolio, so that now I have maybe 10,000, 14,000 photos, and that's what I have to work with to start my business. And so that's the investment of time that I've put in beforehand. I have thousands of photos to show people this is what I can do with a camera. And if you want me to do photos for your pets, if you want me to do a family photo, if you want me to come and take pictures of your property so that you can list it online for real estate, or if you're trying to rent a room, or if you're trying to get photos for your products, you have your own business, you just need product photography, I'll come in and do that. There's so many things that I can do and offer for people. So it's really important to remember to just dedicate yourself to your craft and what you want to do, and try and take your time. You know, you don't want to jump into it full steam ahead if you don't financially have the ability to do that. Right now, times are kind of tough. So, I think it's really important for people to be smart with their money, but it's also important to consider your mental health when you're working, because it's really important to try and find something that works for you and not something that you have to work for, like extremely hard and kind of get nothing out of. So I'm gonna wrap it up kind of right there. I do have affiliate links down in the bottom, so if you do want to check out any of the gear that I used in making this video, that would be my camera or any of the other things, the tripod or any of my other gear, that's going to be down in the description. And then also there is a service that I use, Printful, printful.com. They do custom t-shirts, hats, hoodies, face masks, all sorts of cool things, and I am also an affiliate, so that link will be down below as well. If you use any of these links, I do get a little bit of a kickback, which does help me out, helps the channel, and helps me on my journey to success. That is also something I covered in another video, so if you want to check that out, go and check that out. And thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I will be uploading this one today, November 5th, I believe it is. And then the next day, we should have another video about cool product review. I got a new camera bag, which I reached out to the company, and I'll sort of talk about that in another video. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Peace.